Welcome. Today, I hear that you've been having some issues in your warrior career. Perhaps your shield breaking, which is just so annoying since there's about 1 billion shield destroying or shield crushing effects if you combine them. Or maybe it's that you want to block arrows with your weapons, but you can't because your weapons get destroyed. Well, today we have something for you. As a level 2 warrior, you've probably found something out. You've probably found out that, man, I don't like it when my equipment gets destroyed. Yeah, I can scavenge it back. Yeah, I'm possibly the best martial class because of how armor breaking works and how much armor I can wear, and I can murder all these other martial classes, but they have something against me. They have this ability, this shield destroying or shield crushing ability, and it just keeps destroying my shield, and it's very annoying. I mean, I'm the defensive class. I should be able to use whatever shield I want perfectly fine. And you know what? We think you're right. Or the people who made the rules think you're right. They agree with you and want to give you an ability. It's called Harden. Now, Harden is a self-enchantment that you get once per life, and it's an extraordinary enchantment. This means, well, yes, you can cast it with your hands full with 2 swords or a shield and a sword or both hands on a weapon, whatever, but the important part is that it does not count towards your enchantment limit, which is great. It's great so that you can keep stacking more enchantments. But you're probably wondering what Harden does. Well, we just talked about how you don't want your shield to be destroyed, right? Well, you can either harden your shield or weapons. You choose this at the time of casting the enchantment. Well, not technically casting since it's extraordinary, but incanting the enchantment. If you choose to harden your shield is only able to be destroyed by verbals and spell balls. This means that your shield can only be affected by a fireball, a red spell ball, a sphere of annihilation, a black spell ball, or the spell pyrotechnics, which will destroy your all carried weapons and shields. Those are the only 3 things that can affect your shield. Destruction arrow, whatever, harden. Shield crushing, harden. Barbarian fight after death, roar, going insane, harden. Whatever, harden. I'll just block you and walk away, harden, it's fine. Harden is ridiculously good for shields, but it can also be good for weapons. We'll talk about at 6th level why you might want to go wielding 2 weapons as a warrior. It's a little strange, it's style choice, but if you harden your weapons will, again, only be able to be destroyed by verbals or spell balls. Now, weapons are more susceptible because there are more spell balls that affect them. Along with spear and fireball and pyrotechnics, there's force bolts, lightning bolts, shatter weapon, and technically also heat weapon would kind of do the trick, but your weapons are more susceptible, which is why it's less likely to be used on weapons. However, if you have only 2 weapons, why not make them indestructible? Well, not indestructible, but pretty much indestructible, at least to everyone else who's not a caster. This means you can block arrows, passively block arrows, don't swat them out of the air. You can block arrows, you can block just about anything else that would be weapon destroying. If someone has some weird ability that the game designers want to do, you can just say harden on your weapon and you're fine. There's some instances where harden on the weapons might be better, but primarily harden is for that shield. Now, I did state that barbarians might want to be a warrior because of one ability that's better than almost their entire class, and that is this, harden. Now, there are a lot of abilities that end up destroying shields, and if you go out there with a sword and a board and you want to go and fight, you might have an extra sword, but you don't carry an extra board or shield. I mean, that's just unwieldy. And you want to keep a shield. If you're bringing a shield out instead of 2 weapons, you want to fight with that sword and board. However, there are approximately 10 billion effects that affect your shield. So barbarians go out there, oh, let's fight. Shield destroyed all the time, all the time, all the time. It's almost worthless. And then when they don't take their shield out there, they just get hit in the chest with an arrow and die. So they get really frustrated and decide, that hardened ability that warriors have, I don't even have armor. But you know what's great? a shield. A shield is wonderful, and I want my freaking shield. So, some barbarians actually choose to play warrior instead of the class that they like because harden is just such a good ability. Now, there are some things to keep in mind with harden. Warriors tend to forget that, or just don't know, that whenever you come back from death, or any effect that would stop you from death, like one which we'll talk about later, your enchantments do not stay unless you are greater resurrected. And no healer's going to waste a greater resurrect on you when you're hardened. Come on. Now, a wizard could dispel you. Obviously, that gets rid of your enchantment. But if you come back to life in Nirvana, your enchantments gone if they're non-persistent. And none of your warrior enchantments that you'll get are persistent. So your harden, gone if you resurrect normally. You get your per life back, though, which is great. However, if you are resurrected by a healer, and it's very important to do that in a per life game or where lives matter, then your harden is gone. You're now on the front lines without a harden, and you can't get it back unless you go to a friendly bard. Harden does not permanently stay because there are many different ways that we come back in Amtgard. Resurrection is a very common thing. And dying and coming back in Nirvana is also very common. We die a lot. And when you die and don't get your per lives back, or come back in any way, your harden does not stay. Your harden does not stay. Very important. Many warriors forget this, or at least quite a few warriors that I've seen have forgotten this or just didn't know that. But once again, unless you are greater resurrected, your harden will go away. Now that I've repeated this about 1 billion times, I think you get the idea on the one minor downside of harden. Harden is an amazing ability and a reason why barbarians would choose to play warrior without armor, crazy as it may sound, because just how good harden is. But what do you think of harden? Will you harden your shield like everyone else, or will you choose to harden your weapons just in case? I would love to hear your comments in the comments section down below. And if you are impatient and want to learn more about warrior and can't wait for these videos to come out, you can check out our warrior article in the description down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Until next time, keep LARPing and keep tanking everything.